How can you even for a second trust William Ruto? Even for 1 second. That is where I fault
Faith Odhiambo.
Faith Odhiambo. She has too much faith. Please, faith, reduce your faith. The problem is not the people who are being led. The problem is a person who has been given the opportunity to live. He is incompetent and he has no capacity. That the president can give orders for innocent Kenyans who have not been proved guilty to be shot in the leg. And guys are crossing our borders into Kenya, Jed, and you have a president who is mum. He has not given any orders, even just to shoot in the leg. But here you have a beautiful girl called Soipan. She has not spoken. We don't know what she's doing. Okay? But even at least that one, Soipan, is much better than Murkomen. She's much better.
How
at least
come?
she's just, maybe she knows shut up. Because she knows nothing. Shut up. But this other one, Murkomen, opening his mouth and saying he's going to investigate. What nonsense is he talking about? There's gold involved, there's sugar involved, there are minerals involved, and the saddest bit of it, Jed, is the people of Somali. They know that we are not good neighbors. What gives him the idea that he can do as he wishes? This is not his personal house, this is not Sogoi. I think the president needs to stop being simplistic.
Is there a vacuum post Raila?
Play one clip where Ruto has spoken truthfully.
Great to see you. Hello there and welcome to Philip Kisia Unscripted. My name is Jadiel Kabiro. It is always a joy, a privilege and an honor that you take time and you join us for these conversations to help build both policy and politics here in Kenya. He says, if the truth shall kill them, let them die. But he will speak the truth, whether it's the stones that will hear him. He will continue speaking the truth. He's a leadership and governance expert, former Nairobi town clerk, ex-KICC CEO. He says he's doing a lot for this country, even in the loyal opposition. He's going to tell us more about what he's doing for this country. But of course, he joins us every single week here. We're going to talk about foreign relations. People are in our country. Government says they're not sure whether they are there, actually ignoring calls from Deputy President Rigathi, the former, on Jubaland forces here. Accusations on RSF, accusations on Al-Shabaab. The president is to visit the US. We're going to talk about much more in today's conversation. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for making time for us. How are you?
I'm good, Jed. How are you?
I'm doing well. Still kicking, still talking about politics, still helping government. Do you think we're making any impact?
Are you helping him?
Do you think we're making any impact?
Who are you helping? Jed, our job is to keep on reminding them. Our job is not to praise a government that is failing. We have one duty, to point out the mistakes. But when once in a while they do something good that benefits the people of the Republic of Kenya, good to humanity, we shall talk positively about it. For now, they are doing zero work.
Zero work.
Zero.
Zero. Let's get into your reflections and your highlights for the week.
Well, before we get into my reflections and highlights, I came across this quote by a lady called Mary Roberts Reinhardt, who lived between the year 1876 and 1958. And this is what she said. I hate those men who would send into war youth to fight and die for them. The pride and cowardice of those old men, not young men like you, making wars that the boys must fight and die.
Just making
heavily loaded. Those old men in the Kenya Kwanza government who have been fighting Gen Z, who have killed the Gen Z, murdered, maimed. Your time is coming. That is what Mary Roberts said in 1857. Or rather, before she died.
Now they're talking about compensation. I've seen a lot of backlash on Faith Omondi. By the way, what do you think about Kenyans hitting hard on LSK chairperson?
You see, I mean, I think if you look at the LSK Act, okay, that formed the LSK. I think LSK has a specific mandate. I don't know whether the mandate includes sitting on a committee to compensate victims, people who have been killed through extrajudicial means. I don't know whether the mandate covers that one, even if you look at the act. But I mean, I think Faith was doing it in good faith.
Good one.
Yeah. I suspect she thought that, let me do it for the people, the victims who suffered. But how can anybody in their right mind, how can you even for a second trust William Ruto? Even for 1 second. That is where I fault
Faith Odhiambo.
Faith Odhiambo. She has too much faith. Please, Faith, reduce your faith. William Ruto is not a man to trust and have faith in, even for 1 second.
Your reflections, think you've said it well.
Well, I have two quick reflections. One is I came across this Obama video, and I think this guy, man, this guy was a leader. He's a leader. And he talked about money not being freedom. Just play it out.
You think money is freedom? Let me tell you, it's not. I was once broke, buried in student debt, sitting at a tiny desk wondering if my dreams were too expensive for me. When I became president, I met billionaires who could buy anything except peace of mind. And I met single moms who counted pennies but still smiled because they had love at their dinner table. Here's the truth. Wealth is not the number in your bank account. Wealth is waking up healthy. Wealth is your child running to hug you after work. Wealth is having a purpose so strong, no dollar bill could ever buy it. Don't get me wrong, money matters. It pays the bills, it opens doors. But if you chase it without meaning, you'll end up with a full wallet and an empty heart. So, my challenge to you, build real wealth, invest in your health, in your relationships, in your dreams. Because that's the kind of fortune no crash, no recession, no billionaire can ever take away from you.
Barack Hussein Obama, we say son of our soil, says money matters, but money is not everything. He has met a lot of billionaires who don't have peace.
Yes. Do you agree?
I agree.
Yeah. Money does not give you freedom. Money will never give you a peace of mind, Jed. And that's why I agree with my senior brother, Professor Herman Manyora. Money cannot give you peace of mind. I was raised by a single mother who didn't have money. She had very little. But we lived as a happy family. And we could see our mother smiling broadly anytime she came to embrace us. Anytime we came back from school, we would run to her when she came from work and gave her a hug. We didn't have money, but there was love. There was love flourishing in the family. We lived well as a family. We didn't have that money. And God was very gracious. We had good health. Of course, unfortunately, then my mother, was hit by cancer. But for all those years, the family has been in good health. And I think that's important. Because you can have all the money you have, and you can see even our leaders. And I thought you'd ask me, Jed.
Yeah.
Trump, the other 2 weeks ago, he said, I'm having a problem. I have a medical condition.
Yes.
Sometimes I ask myself, Jed, do our leaders have any medical conditions? And how come they're so quiet? What were they made of that they don't even fall sick? But, when you observe them, some of them, I'm not saying that's a problem, but you look at their skin rashes, you can, there are problems. But how come the president of the most powerful nation can come out openly and tell people, you know what, I have this condition? Because they take cognizance of the fact that they are human beings. They're just human. They are not semi-gods. But in Africa, and particularly
ours don't have any
Kenya,
problems.
they have no problems. They don't even fall sick.
No, not at
they
all.
can't even catch a cold, man.
Not at
These
all.
guys, they were made from steel, And I think Obama concludes by saying, listen, be careful that you can chase money, you look for money, You make billions, like the people in Kenya Kwanza. They are making billions of shillings, billions of dollars, billions of shillings from Chief Shah, billions of shillings. They almost made billions of dollars from Madani. They are making billions from sugar with mercury. They are making money left, right, and center. But Obama is warning them that you may do that and end up with an empty heart. And when you have an empty heart, Jed, when time comes for you to go to your creator, you disappear in a manner that people don't believe. Because when we are dropping you back, they say soil to soil.
Yes.
Soil to soil.
Soil to soil.
Even the grave diggers may forget. Instead of doing 6 feet, they'll do 8. Because of the deeds, your deeds here on earth. But you see, and again, I agree with, I agree with Barack.
Yes.
That happiness, good health, these are the only things. And your friend Kraito, I think, happiness or something.
Happiness Society.
Happiness Society, remember? Why
Yes.
haven't you made me a member? that is the only thing that cannot crash. That is the only thing that cannot suffer recession. Happiness. It cannot go into recession. But everything else is vanity. And one time, all these things will come to crumple. You've seen those people stolen public resources, billions of shillings, billions of dollars. They are there. Mobutu Seseko, they are there, even here Kenya. I don't mention their names because these people have grandchildren, great-grandchildren. They are suffering, Jed. They stole public funds.
After all this theft and stealing, their children
They are living miserable lives. Some of them are just sick. Some of them die from diseases that you cannot even imagine. So please, just be humble and treat human beings in a humane way. My second reflection, Jed.
Yes.
Get this, and I think this one, I had to listen to that video several times. I couldn't, and I mean, I was in shock when William Ruto was talking about micromanagement. I know that's my area.
Yeah, that's your area now. That is your area.
Oh my God. Play out that video. The short one. Play the first 30 seconds.
That is your area. Yes, that's your area.
No, it is. It is. Ronald, the first 30 seconds, please. Play it out.
I am accused of micromanaging things. But unfortunately, sometimes when you don't do it, nobody does it. So it's better to be accused of micromanaging something and it gets done than nothing gets done. So,
well, that is His Excellency President William Ruto saying that he's being accused of micromanagement, but if you don't micromanage, sometimes things don't work. Now with him, things are working because he's micromanaging. I'm here with a student of Harvard University, former Nairobi Town Clerk, ex-KICC CEO. You know leadership and management.
You know, Jed.
Yes.
Jed.
Yes.
I'm telling you, and I'm not joking.
You're in Singapore.
I am. National University of Singapore. I listened to that video so many times.
Yeah.
Then I remembered Management 101.
Yes.
What is management? But, William talks about, he was trying to justify why he micromanages. And he's talking about micromanaging people. And he even goes further to say, because they fail me, and therefore I'm forced to micromanage. He's saying that in the presence of his CS for sports and other senior officials seated in a meeting in the midst of private sector people. He's saying, I have to micromanage. Because nobody can do it if I don't do it. Nobody can do it. Then the question is, why appoint people if they have no capacity to do it? Then you end up doing the job. Why can't you just employ yourself? Why can't you be minister for everything? Be minister for agriculture, sports, everything, finance, everything. Because even the people that you have given the job responsibility have no capacity, you have no faith, they cannot deliver. Okay? But I think, let me tell you, it is not possible, humanly possible. This is a man who is suffering from what I keep on telling you, Jed, the big L syndrome, Bwana Mkubwa syndrome. He's the only one who knows everything. He's a doctor for health. He's a mechanic. Yeah? He's a hustler. He's everything. But those are signs of somebody who has no capacity, somebody who does not understand what Jed, Management is basically, just write this some,
Yeah.
post decor,
Yeah.
planning, organizing, controlling, budgeting, and utilization of resources to deliver the desired results. Okay? But for you to do this, you can't do them yourself. You use people, other people. Your job is to make sure you're doing what? You're organizing, you're planning, you're leading, you're controlling, you're budgeting, and you're doing all those things. But then for you to do those things, you need resources. They include machinery, management, marketing, and all those resources that you can deploy to be able to do what? To deliver the desired results in an economical, efficient, and effective manner. The 3 E's. Then I remembered again, this is somebody who has no capacity, but leadership capacity. Because Jed, if he understood leadership is basically the ability to be able to bring people together, to agree on a certain direction, okay? Then you provide the leadership, you drive them in that particular direction, but they must be willing. So there must be willingness from those people who you are leading, provide the leadership. Then they must be enthusiastic about it.
They really want to
They
do it.
want to do it with you. Okay? So it's not just a matter of, and then of course the person who is been given the opportunity to be in front should be competent. So you can see from the definitions I've given you
Yes.
about management
Yeah.
and leadership, the problem is not the people who are being led. The problem is a person who has been given the opportunity to lead. He is incompetent and he has no capacity. He has no capacity. Otherwise, he'll not be saying that I must micromanage. How? It's not possible, Jed.
But then if he says it as if it is possible, what is the danger of micromanaging when you're placed as a
Failure.
leader?
What danger? Failure, total failure. Because you'll crash, you'll crumple, you'll crash, Jed. It's not humanly possible to do everything.
The only
Who are
result
you?
is failure.
It's failure. He'll fail. And that's why he's failing anyway.
Let's get to your highlights.
My highlights, Jed, man.
Yes.
And, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I didn't even see your tweet, man.
Yeah.
This should have sent shockwaves in the entire nation.
But you don't like me
Shockwaves.
talking about management. That is your area.
Shockwaves.
That is your area. I left it for you to
I'm
tweet.
saying, come on, Jed. This one.
I
This
left
one, you
it.
must talk about this one.
Okay.
This one, Jed.
Yes.
State House, between 14th of May and 24th of June this year, not last year, spend 3.6 billion Kenya shillings. Billion, not Uganda shillings. Kenya shillings, 3.6 billion. You know on what? On travel. Just on traveling. Traveling, Jed. Less than 3 months. Traveling. You blow 3.6 billion. Of course, they're hiding under Article 223 that allows them to spend money on emergency matters. If there's an emergency situation, Article 223 allows you to spend. And then later on, you can justify to Parliament. I'm hoping that although the controller of budgets brought up the issue, I am hoping that Parliament has interrogated those figures within the prescribed time that the Constitution allows. Because the Constitution says you can spend on emergency. These are the issues. However, you must then get back to Parliament. So I'm hoping that the controller of budget didn't just say, and if he just talked about it, that the Auditor General will say, now listen, here there's failure. You have actually broken the law. Okay? So, I mean, it is crazy, Jed. The things that are happening in this country are just crazy.
3.6.
You know that money, 3.6 billion, Jed. Capitation. Do you know how many children were given the 17 or 18,000 bob
yes.
for capitation? It can actually cater for 200,000 children, our children. Our intern doctors, even if we pay them 200,000 shillings, That money is enough to cater for 5,000 interns for 3 months, Jed. Jed, 3.6 billion. We have children in this country studying under trees. That money is sufficient to build very many classrooms, because just take maybe a classroom at 500,000 shillings plus a desk and everything. How many classrooms will you have built so that we remove our children from learning under trees, learning under terrible conditions? Those are things that should have ended in the 70s. They're still happening now, and yet William Ruto is talking about transforming Kenya. Under his watch, Kenya will never transform. I can tell you, Jed. Then the other thing that really disturbed me.
Yes.
In fact, if I was next to the Minister of Finance, I would have boxed that fellow. That fellow needs to be beaten. Boxed.
You're talking about CS Mbadi.
Yes, he's a good man. He's a good man. But I don't know what has happened.
He needs to be awakened.
He needs to be slapped, a few slaps, to wake up. Because see, how can you allow such money to be spent in this manner? State House, under the watch of William Ruto, who pretended to be techno-swabby. He pretended when he came with some laptops, carrying laptops. He was on laptop all the time. Even now, laptop. I think he's getting tired. Look at that laptop. The man, under his watch, State House is spending 2.2 million daily printing makratas. And his government is supposed to be paperless. His own just office, State House, 2.2 million shillings. Do you know what 2.2 million Jed can do? Do you know what that money can do?
The government was supposed to be paperless.
Do you know what that money can do, Jed?
Yes.
Capitation again. 3,700 students.
Per day.
Because, no, 2.2 million per day in a month is 66 million. I mean, Jed, we are so wasteful. We are wasting resources that should be placed in things that can improve this country and transform this. The last, Jed, this one, again, is one video I had to look at several times because I saw things happen and said, this is something that almost happened in Kenya by, the J25, 2024. Was it?
July 25, 2024.
No,
June 25,
J.
2024.
2024, yes. J24. Okay? So, I saw that happen in Indonesia. We just play out that thing, man. Because I want these MPs to watch. They must watch this one.
Situasi terkini dari dalam rumah Mas Saroni. Semuanya sudah habis, hancur, diamuk sama masa. Patung air.
Luxury cars, watches. Young guys in Indonesia stormed an MP's house. Kisia, what are we reflecting on today?
Man, it's a highlight.
You're scaring our MPs.
It's just a highlight.
Yeah, you're scaring
I want the
our
MPs. I want the MPs to look at this thing. Do you know what these fellows did in Indonesia?
Yes.
They increased their house allowance to $3,300. Increased. And guys were saying the cost of living, just like here, the cost of living is so high, is unbearable. And you guys are paying yourself $3,300.
$2,900.
$3,300 just on the house allowance. And we are starving here. And they said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Mtajua hamjui. When I tell you people power, Jed, I'm not joking. Never underestimate the power of the people. Power of the people. There are millions like in Kenya, 56 million strong. They can do anything. They can do anything. They can, I'm telling you, they can bring down this country. You saw just a few thousand fellows. They walked into this guy and said, you can't be living in luxury and you can't even afford tea. They took everything. Even what they were not going to use. But they carried everything.
This is because the MP was flaunting his wealth.
Yes, but you see, how floating, from where? From taxpayers' money. You have seen, that is the bad behavior that Musalia was talking about and warning his colleagues. You can't be putting on a belt for 1 million and your salary is 1 million. And we know just the other day you are living in some place, let me not mention the names. We know where your children are going to school. We know, some of you, I'll not mention the names, because even, I know.
You know.
I know, and maybe you know also.
But things have changed.
But now when they go to other schools where a fee is per term is 1.5 million, and your salary for the whole month is not even 1.5 million. Those are the things I'm warning some of them, because some of them are my friends. I'm warning them. Be careful. Be careful.
Let's get straight into our conversation for today. Foreign forces, allegations, and diplomacy issues. Kenya's tough questions. Rigathi Gachagua came back to the country exposing that the president has been meeting Al-Shabaab, saying that the United States Senate is investigating President William Ruto. Jubaland forces are in Mandera. The governor of Mandera is actually asking for help, saying, please get these people out of Mandera. We are not safe. CS Murkomen comes and says that the only people he knows who are in the country are Somalis, refugees, and is actually helping them because of what is happening in Somalia. My conversation today with Philip Kisia is all about that. What can we do as a country to help build our diplomatic alliances? What can we do to help to keep our country safe? Actually, what does sovereignty mean when you have Jubaland forces here in the country? There's silence from the president. The president is expected to visit the US. The president, according to reports, is that they have hired a lobbying firm to clean a little bit our image there once the president visits the United States. Kisia, before I ask you what is happening in Mandera, what is generally happening? There is RSF gold, there is Al-Shabaab, there is even Tanzania was saying we don't have Nidhamu. There's a lot. There's a US state investigating our president. All these things that are happening. Put this to context before we talk about Mandera specifically.
Jed,
what is happening?
Sometimes you bring topics that are heavy, very, very heavy topics. And then when I want to talk, you got me. Because it's heavy. What I talk about is the heavy stuff. Stuff.
Everything.
But because I'll respond.
Okay, for once,
because it's going to be heavy.
Let me leave you to respond today.
Yeah.
No gagging.
Please don't gag me.
All right.
Let me tell you, I'm aware, for example, that there are petitions which have landed at the UN. The petitions from Kenyans, not Ugandans or Tanzanians, from Kenyans, asking the assembly not to allow the president to address them. There are thousands, I'm telling you, of petitions. It has never happened before. That Kenyans are so mad, that Kenyans are so angry, that Kenyans don't even love you anymore. They are actually sending petitions saying this man should not be allowed to speak in a national fora, in international fora. But let us say this, Jed. The issue you're talking about, it's a very serious matter. When your sovereignty is actually violated, it means that you are nothing. It means that you have given in. That actually, that you have ceded part of your country, you have given it away. When you allow people to cross your borders, not just people, ordinary people, but an army, several thousand fellows, to cross into your territorial area, inside, cross the border inside, and they're operating as if nothing is happening. Actually, it's a failure. It confirms that the regime has failed. But sometimes it's not just failure. The question that somebody be asking is, Jed, is it by design? And if it is by design, could somebody be thinking about a state of emergency? And I'll talk about that a bit later. But the question I'm asking myself, we have a gallant Kenya Defense Force, gallant, respected all over the world. The best that Africa has had. I'm telling you, Jed, we have the best defense forces in Africa. Disciplined, result-oriented, organized. And that's why Kenyans love the Kenya Defense Forces. We love them.
True.
Because it is only institution that seems to be holding together and working for the Kenyan people. Then I ask, where is Jadiel Kabiro? This man from your place, I think it's from Nyeri. Where is he? Does he want to go down in history as a fellow who allowed fellows to cross our borders? It has never happened. Because when you cross our border in military uniform, you must be shot. These are the people who be shot at the border. Not now I'm getting shocked that the president can give orders for innocent Kenyans who have not been proved guilty to be shot in the leg. And guys are crossing our borders into Kenya. Jed, and you have a president who is mum. He has not given any orders, even just to shoot in the leg. Guys in military uniform, armed, crossing the border. The man has not spoken. Our general, CDF, General Kabiro, he has not spoken. And I'm wondering, Jed, what is going on? What is going on? Is also our defense force about to sink? Then I remember we have somebody called Soipan, this beautiful girl. But then I remember that Americans take that position so seriously, and that is why the Secretary of Defense in the US will always, most of the times, be somebody who understands defense matters. Most likely a retired general. But here you have a beautiful girl called Soipan. She has not spoken. We don't know what she's doing. Okay? But even at least that one, Soipan, is much better than Murkomen. She's much better.
How
at least
come?
she's just, maybe she knows shut up. Because she knows nothing. Shut up. But this other one, Murkomen, opening his mouth and saying he's going to investigate. What nonsense is he talking about? Investigating what? People have already crossed the border. They are inside your country. And the man is saying, he is going to investigate. Jed, NIS of Kenya, National Intelligence Services, the best that we've ever had in Africa, one of the best, top. Under my friend Nurdin, we are seeing wonders. We are seeing wonders. And then you ask yourself, where are they? Then I say, no wonder the Americans are investigating our president. You know, for another country, it doesn't matter whether they're a superpower, but for them to investigate our president, do you think I feel great about it? When I know my president is being scrutinized, being investigated, and soon these people just pick him up like you know, you can run in your farm and collect chicken. These are weighty matters, Jed. But again, I want Kenyans to seriously read this kitabu, this Bible. Okay? Look at Article 1 that talks about the sovereignty of this country. Sovereign. They must also now ask themselves, is somebody trying to invoke Article 58 that allows a state, you know, when a state is about to be invaded, then you say, no, we are under threat, you know.
State of emergency.
State of emergency. But then chapter 6, chapter 6, 73 and 74, that talks about leadership and integrity. Do we have the right people leading this country? Okay? The man took the oath of office, Article 74. Yeah? Oath of office, that he will protect our borders. That's what he's talking about, that he was given. It is not to cut our necks. It's for him to defend our borders. Why can't he go to the borders, and if he's a real CNC, Commander-in-Chief, why can't he go there? Like Museveni would have done, or Kagame would have done. Not just feeling pretty and feeling nice. No, and wearing expensive shoes. Take that sword to the border. A CNC, take that sword to the border, my friend. Don't waste our time. But most important, Jed, chapter 14 of the Constitution, because I read, because I knew you brought heavy stuff. Okay? What does chapter 14 talk about? Okay? You know, there are issues to do with protecting our territorial integrity, both internal and external.
Yeah.
From threats, any form of threat. We are under threat. People are already in our bedrooms. People are no longer on the border. They are in our bedroom, seated. It's like a thief. They have, you have an electric fence. He has jumped off the electric fence. He has tied the watchman. The dogs have been given poison. Now the man is sitting in the kitchen eating your ugali that was left and your chicken. or even they found you cooking and they're eating and you are there, what can you do?
But are these thieves or are they welcomed guests?
How are they welcome? How can you welcome somebody
If you haven't
in
spoken
uniform?
as government.
How can you welcome them in uniform? And if they're welcome, under whose authority? Who gave them that authority to welcome another military into a country? Who gave them that authority? They don't have that authority. They must seek authority from Kenyans.
Yeah.
So, Jed, you know, Article 241, Kenya Defense Forces, what's their job? Territorial integrity. That's their job, to protect our territorial integrity and sovereignty. And then, of course, Article 241, National Intelligence Services. What is their job description? To deal with issues to do intelligence and counterintelligence. But these guys, they are lost, Jed.
Totally.
They are completely lost. These are people, when we take over, and I'm hoping that I've appointed the CS of Interior. I'll send, these are people that I think one of the things that you need to do, probably just suspend the constitution for them. Put them in jail. Because these are not people who should even be allowed to breathe for 1 second. They should be rotting in jail.
Let me ask you this. What are the security and maybe put sovereignty risks when you have Jubaland forces here in our country and we know the adversaries of the Somali federal government? What are the security risks for them to operate or seek refuge here in Kenya?
I can only think of three things, Jed.
Yes.
The first one, of course, we talked about is the issue of security and sovereignty. Okay? Then there's the issue of risk, the cross-border risk. Okay? And then, of course, these people destabilize your country. So the first one, the issue of, and we've talked at length, the issue of territorial integrity must be top of your priority. Because when your territories have been compromised, it actually confirms that you are weak, you've lost your sovereignty, you are exposed, you can be dealt with in whatever manner. Yeah? You are like a rat that is being chased by a cat. Yeah? You are just under threat. Then there's the issue of cross-border, risk. When you seem to be interfering with the internal issues of the neighboring country, do you think they'll just sit down pretty and watch you? Will they do that?
No.
Okay? They will not do it. They must also decide to retaliate. And they can retaliate in two manners. Number one, also exercise their military strength and come for you. But number two, because you don't live, you don't live in isolation, they will allow also maybe a Shabab and other terror groups. They can use their borders as safe, route into your territory. So, but again, the issue of creating this, destabilizing even your country.
Yeah.
Look at Mandera, Jed. How many people have been displaced, Jed? How many?
So many.
Thousands of people have been displaced. The Senate has spoken. The governor has spoken and said, listen, we are having serious issues here. Schools have been taken over as military camps. People cannot even go to health centers. So it means that we'll have a population in Mandera who cannot access health. And that, of course, will affect negatively the people of Mandera and the people. Schools.
Yeah. I'm
told so many schools in Mandera have closed. So when you're asking me, what are the security risks? There are so many risks
of having them,
or allowing a defense force of your neighbor to walk in and out as if it's a washroom. Okay? Because even in a washroom, Jed, you'll have some good manners. If you're brought up well, you'll knock.
Knock first.
You'll knock before you access. But these guys are just walking in and out.
What do you make of CS Murkomen's response? I know you've said he ought to have shut up if that was his response, but what concrete governance, or should I say security measures, should he have come up with now that there's this information? We are seeing videos from Mandera, and he's just saying the only people he knows who are there are Somali refugees, and if there's anyone who's there illegally, we'll take them out of our country. What should he do?
But can you even take this man seriously?
What should he do now?
But I'm asking you, I'm saying if it was a serious person, you'd attempt to advise. But this is not a man who should even be advising. This is a man who should have been fired a long time ago. I'm telling you. This is a man who should not be occupying such a serious office. When he's talking about, I will invest, and people are already in your bedroom, what are you investigating? People are already in your kitchen, feeding on the meals that you have there, and you're saying you're investigating. So such a fellow should not be anywhere near a docket as serious as that one. But the issues have said, if I was to advise Jed, there are three things. One, strengthening of security surveillance. This is the time now we should deploy drones all over that area. Okay? Why are we not coming out with the might that we are known to have? We have a defense force that is properly equipped. Where are they, Jed? Why are we not having security patrols? Enhanced security patrols. Okay? Why are we not having joint security operations? We want to see now these people who shoot our children going there to shoot those fellows from Jubaland. Why are they here? Why are they in Nairobi? Why are they hiding? We want to see the president who orders for our children to be shot in the legs, to order for those people to be cleaned out of this republic. Where is he? But of course, Jed, there are no joint operations. I don't know if they are sharing intelligence. But even if they were sharing intelligence, that could not have happened, Jed. But finally on that one,
Yes.
the communities in Mandera and all parts of Kenya, I've said this before, because I'm the one who started community policing in Kenya. You can check your records, in the year 2000. It is the people who actually should be the first line of intelligence. These are because they live in that community. They can tell you easily, Jed, that we have strangers. This is the route they followed. This is where they have gone. This is where they're hiding. This is what they're doing in this community. And this is the time they operate. So if you want to lay an ambush, this is where you should lay an ambush. This is the time you should lay that ambush. The communities need to be involved. But instead of involving the communities in those areas have been ignored.
Even the governor
is being ignored. The Senate is being ignored. So who are they listening to if they cannot involve the communities in the affected areas? But again, you can understand why. I start by saying, Jed, that is being done intentionally. For what? For profit, for gain. There's gold involved, there's sugar involved, there are minerals involved, and the saddest bit of it, Jed, is the people of Somali. They know that we are not good neighbors. The people, forget about the small clique of fellows who are benefiting from this. The people, the millions of people in Somali, they know that Kenyans are not good people. And one day, they'll also revenge. And I can tell you, it will not be a sweet revenge.
What should we do to build our credibility, both locally and internationally? We have talked about the people of Somalia. We have people here in the country, including Rigathi Gachagua and the loyal opposition, who are saying 5 people have been killed in Mandera, the governor there. And then there's talks of the lobbying firm. I don't know if you've heard, but there's talks that Kenya has hired a lobbying firm to help us build our image ahead of Ruto in the US, or Ruto addressing the UN. What should we do to build this mistrust that we have?
Jed, we talked about this lobbying firm last week. You've forgotten. But it's a waste of time and waste of public resources. Our image has sunk so low that even the best PR company will not yield any results. So for me, it's a waste of time. But maybe it's another conduit for people to eat that money. You know, it's about 320 million shillings. That's money will just be eaten by people. It's about 26 million every month. That money is for eating.
Nothing
image?
to help. Nothing
You see,
to help.
if you have no image, you know, you can have a bad image that can be repaired. But in this case, our image is so tattered. Our image is so beaten that you'll need God's miracle to repair that image. So this Polish whatever company is I don't see it's of no consequence. But you ask me, how can we rebuild our credibility, which has sunk so low? Okay? Here is where I give Rigathi credit. He started talking about these things. And some people dismissed him.
Yeah.
Now they're coming out. They're just panning out.
Al-Shabaab.
Okay? He says Al-Shabaab, Jubaland. He talked about minerals. He talked about sugar. And he was very specific. He said the person involved is William Ruto. So you can understand why guys have just crossed the border and they're here. You can understand why. Okay? But I think your question was, how then can we rebuild our credibility? It's going to be tough, Jed. But the one thing that they can do very quickly, but this the government is not known for being accountable and transparent, is for laying bare. The government needs to come out and admit publicly. They must admit publicly that something went amiss.
Publicly.
They must admit publicly. That's for, you know, you ask me, how can they regain credibility
Yes.
and accountability? The only way is to come and own up the problem and say, we are the cause of the problem.
Up to now, they are really silent on Jubaland.
Of course, they can't speak. Do you expect them to speak? They're the ones. Where in the world can you, a president and a commander-in-chief, your country has been invaded, not by mosquitoes or by snakes, by armed fellows, and your mom, you are just shutting up when you should be talking. This is the time you should be talking. You know, the man talks when he's not supposed to be talking. This is the time the president should be opening his mouth and telling us what he is doing and what he intends to, which include investigations. They need to carry out thorough investigations. But again, do you expect Ruto to order for any investigations while clearly we're being told he's involved? That's a problem. Okay? So, I mean, Jed, but again, because Rigathi and most people know that it's the issue of trade, and people are making billions of dollars from these things. Minerals, gold, I don't know what, sugar, billions of shillings. Okay? We must now, as loyal opposition, okay, demand that these so-called independent institutions, NIS, DCI, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, they must now come out. They must come out and carry out independent investigations and file reports, because if they don't, the culprits who are holding those offices, when we take over government, we'll deal with you sacafoniously. We shall deal with you, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Sacafoniously.
We shall sacafoniously. We are going to deal with you.
But maybe
You are earning money,
yes,
public money. You are fat money. You're just growing fat. There's a guy I saw. The guy used to be, even I'm big. The guy is 4 times my size. I don't even know which bed can he sleep on. And how? I mean, you see, like you can stand. I don't know how guys can stand. The guy was, you know, I'm big. Jed, I'm big.
Yes.
But that guy now, I saw him the other day. I couldn't believe it. I thought it's AI. He's 4 times my size guy. And I was wondering. So that's when they say that the economy is growing. They are growing. They're growing.
Maybe finally, talk to me about national interest and maybe just that bit of image. We have countries that are in conflict. Sudan, Somalia with Jubaland, there was the Morocco, Sahrawi. And then we also have this, Museveni was saying, how can you order people to shoot your citizens? I was telling you about Samia Suluhu was saying, Kenya hamna nidhamu. how can we build, this image really well so that for our national interests in countries that are in conflict, and even when we have, there was a singer from Tanzania during the finals who was singing, and Kenyans were just singing the national anthem. It seems like we are not in tandem with other countries.
I agree with Museveni. He's an old man, but he's a wise man. When he said, how can you as a president order for your people to be shot in the legs? How? It's only a mad fellow who can do that. It's only a madman. It's only a madman who can order for his children, for his citizens to be shot in the leg. You must be mad. So I agree with Museveni that only mad people do that. But I, to some extent, disagree with our sister, Suluhu. I thought being Suluhu, she has suluhisho. You see, Kenya tuna nidhamu. Wakenya tuna nidhamu. Wananchi wana nidhamu. The ones who don't have nidhamu,
Ongea Kiswahili sasa.
the ones who don't have nidhamu, nilipita Kiswahili, my friend. Wale hawana nidhamu is not the small person, it's not the people. It is a leadership. They have no discipline. Nidhamu is discipline. They have no discipline. So Suluhu should have been addressing his colleagues, her colleagues, saying, nyinyi viongozi wa Kenya hamna nidhamu. But having said that, Jed, you asked me, how this can quickly be dealt with. One, diplomacy is not a joke. Diplomacy requires neutrality. You must be neutral in the way you operate. You must never be seen to favor any side, particularly when it comes to matters, internal affairs of other people. You have no business to poke your nose in their conflict, because once they resolve their own issues, they'll come for you. Because at a certain point, they will resolve. Rwanda had their own problems for many years. Haven't they resolved the conflict? So they can remember the people who treated them well, the people who assisted them to attain peace, to achieve peace. But they will never forget the people who are fueling conflict. So you must always remain neutral. The other one, Jed, is we need to strengthen our bilateral agreements across the border with our neighbors. Because, see, we must do cross-border trade. We must trade with our neighbors. Uganda is our biggest trading partner, followed, I think, by Tanzania. So if there's conflict in the region, we shall be affected in one way or another, particularly when it comes to commerce, trade, okay, leisure, travel, tourism will be affected, okay? So those are things that we must guard against. We must make sure that we, instead of fueling conflict, we are signing security pacts with our neighbors, that will ensure that the intelligence services in Uganda, in Somalia, we work together for the benefit of this region. So we must work not for personal interest, because it's gold, and you want to make yourself a dollar billionaire. You must work first for this country if you're holding public office. You must put the interest of this economic interest of Kenyans before your own personal interest. Here, what I'm seeing in this Kenya Kwanza government, people have put their own personal interests before our own interests, economic interests as Kenyans. Very dangerous place to be.
Very dangerous place to be, yes, indeed. That's been a conversation on foreign forces, allegations, diplomacy, big questions for William Ruto. What will be done next? Just as always, I think that was a very good wrapping place for national interest. Just as always, final words as we head over for the weekend.
Well, I hope this weekend, at least this Friday, take me out, man. You Gen Z people,
this
take
weekend
me out. Take me out. Come
this
on.
weekend there's Rema.
Take me out.
People are praying in Nairobi.
Yeah, we'll also be praying as we are doing heavy lifting. But anyway,
Yes.
again, let us end with this video on Jubaland, where these guys are saying, our comrades, we are collaborating. We have been allowed into this country.
Askari wa Jubaland military na kati ya Kenya wanafanya kazi pamoja.
Wada shaqayn fiican baa naga dhaxaysa.
Kazi ni tunafanya mzuri sana, hakuna shida yote.
Information ida cadu wana xiriirsi baa naga dhaxaya.
Pia information tunakatikana, tuko na enemy moja.
Dad dawlad soo fiican soo shaqeeyna isku xiran baan nahay.
Tuko unity. Tunafanya kazi pamoja.
Information ida xogaha cadowga markaan helana anagoo iskaashan inaan ku wada duulo ma taqaanay aan operation ka fulina.
Tukipata information ya adui wote tunaenda pamoja na tunapatia support.
Ciidanka deriska nala si fiican nala shaqeeyaa.
Jirani wetu wa Kenya wanafanya kazi na pamoja na sisi vizuri.
Xogahana waan kala qaadanaa is wadaarsanaa.
Na tunachukua vizuri information ya adui.
Gabihan deegaanku waa nabadgelyo.
Na hapo ni amani, hakuna shida yote.
Jubaland forces on that video saying they are working with Kenya. Kisia, this is crazy.
Mr. William Ruto, you are the president and commander-in-chief. You keep on repeating that you are given a Bible. Use a Bible to read, pray so that you can be guided spiritually. You are given the constitution of this republic. Use that constitution to govern in accordance with that constitution. If you don't have a copy, I can lend you. In fact, mine I've made notes. I've read it several times. Read it again, so that you do not govern out of this document that you've been given. William Ruto, the sword that you keep on referring to, go to the battlefront, remove these guys from our territory, send them back to sender, get them out. That is where the sword is required. The sword is not required on Kenyans. The sword is required to be applied on our enemies. Jubaland, but not even Jubaland. Those forces from Jubaland are our enemies. They must be flushed out. William Ruto, use that sword. You are the commander-in-chief. Get to the front line. If you can't, you know what is best to do. Finally, Jed, I want us to say this. You know, there has been a lot of thuggery in Nairobi. Okay? A lot of thuggery in Nairobi. You saw it.
Yeah.
Okay? People stealing, harassing people in broad daylight, not at night. Pasari, I'm told Pasari was talking about there's an insecurity because there are no street lights. These robberies are happening in broad daylight. It has never happened this before. Like, it has never. I was born in this city, Jed. Some of you are just from the village. Nimachari Kukam. I have never seen this happening. It is happening under William Ruto's watch. It has never happened. Even the Kamwana used to blame, saying that the man is lazy. It never happened. At least the Kamwana would remove sword and deal with these fellows.
Yeah.
This fellow is using the sword on his own people. Shoot on their legs. William Ruto, come on, use that sword in the proper places. Those people are harassing Nairobians. Deal with them. Because failure to deal with them confirms my worst fears, that we are slowly slipping into a failed state. But finally, Jed,
Yes.
let me address my president. Because you're still my friend,
Yes.
Mr. President. Mr. President, you're still my friend. I have always wanted you to succeed, Mr. President. William Ruto, you're my friend. But you are going to fail terribly. You are failing. You are not listening. You are failing, my friend. Bring back our boys from Haiti. You can't go and rescue your neighbor when your own home is burning. Bring our boys back from Haiti to deal with insecurity in Kenya.
Thanks for tuning into that conversation about security, what needs to be done in terms of diplomacy. Just as always, it's always a pleasure to have Philip Kisia. Thanks for making time for us every single week. Thanks for tuning into this conversation. Share this video with as many people as possible so that we reach the president. Today, Kisia has looked at the camera for William Ruto. Goodbye for now.
What gives him the idea that he can do as he wishes? This is not his personal house, this is not for going. I think the president needs to stop being simplistic.
Is there a vacuum post Raila?
Play one clip where Ruto has spoken truthfully.